Good morning. Good morning. I think it's the 30th. I'm just check. No, it's the 29th according to my phone. I think it's Wednesday. Anyway, we're all knocked out. We have no power. Now, this video is being made by a combination of a petrol generator, which is a slow charger, really. It doesn't seem to be doing it as good as the mains. Maybe some problem. But I also have here is a solar edition that was loaned to me by someone. So this is the first broadcast I ever made, if it comes true, powered by solar power. Now, I'm not too sure if you're even hearing me, so conditions are difficult. But it's a good, bright, sunny morning here in rural Ireland. And there's a lot of people still turned off their electricity. And folks are learning that the electricity supply also powers the mobile phones, at least temporarily. And it also powers the water, and that also powers the sewage systems. And when the electricity goes down, the sewage system goes down. And so many houses and many buildings and many public buildings and restaurants and hotels have a problem in that the sewage can't be got rid of. So there you are. Now, the problem for me is using generators and lighting and flashlights and all that is bad connections and the usual thing, not too well prepared for it. But still, we're getting by, and only for a generator I couldn't pump the water up to my cattle from the well up to the cattle. So that's good, and it's not too hard on petrol. One of the things about them at night, you need to turn off the fuel. Turn off the fuel on a petrol generator because it does drip down into it and cause awful problems. When it's stopped for any length of time, turn off the fuel. Now, we can be critical of all types of people, but there are areas of the country, including right here, that there's no power. And yet Rara Wind Farm can get all the power it needs. Lights are on all the time. And it's generating some wee bit and it's putting it back into the grid. We live beside it. We can't get any power at all. And this should bring it home to folks, to people, that the electricity grid, our 50 hertz three-phase system, is not as simple as it's been painted in the media. Where is our Minister for Energy, Eamon Ryan? He was the genius that was sorting all this. Where is he? He hasn't been heard of as far as I know. I believe there's a good bit of controversy in the country over this whole thing, and I don't know how that will go because I wouldn't listen to the radio. I will say this: the morning after the storm came in on Friday, and on the Friday morning after the storm, when it was settling down, when it was 2 o'clock in the evening, I think, I was in the van and I turned on the radio, and I'm almost sure it was Joe Duffy, was on RT1, and he had a big expose about how you should dress yourself when you're going into the Stormont Assembly, the Dáil, to chapel, to church, to weddings, to everything else. And definitely the mood was, if you're not dressed to kill, you shouldn't be alive at all. There wasn't much sympathy for the farmer trying to keep the food on the table, as to say you need a doctor twice a year, you need a farmer 3 times a day, and keeping the cattle looked after and all of this, and roofs blown off buildings, is not an easy task. One of the big outcomes of all this is going to be, I don't think it'll educate the public about my way of thinking about our electricity supply. I think that's not going to happen. They're too determined and too ignorant to be educated. But one of the things we're going to see is a massive increase in the price of skilled labour. You won't get people with skills. And this happened before, during the Great Plague. When the plague was over, the cost of handymen and workmen went through the roof. People that had money hoarded up and had wee handy ways of doing things found they had to shell out all their money to get the basic stuff done. You're going to see that. Companies that do practical work, that's the lads getting the breakfast roll in the morning, not that I don't think they should, and get something healthier, and with the proper outfit for their belt, for their hammers and their pliers and all that, and there's an odd girl doing it as well. They will be able to call the price, because we're rearing and educating a crowd of dopes. Most of the people are dopes. Most of them are dopes. Now, it was brought to my attention yesterday that Dublin didn't get shut down at all, and that's politically. That's where the votes are. The country people can go to hell. I don't see any reason why the power shouldn't be on here. I think myself they haven't enough capacity. In other words, whatever way the storm worked out, they didn't have the enough output from the power stations to keep the lights on, and so they curtail certain areas. And the bigger idiots they are in that area, that's what they think of as anyway, the more likely you're being curtailed. And they're right to an extent, because in the areas that shut off, including my own, half of the people are going to vote Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and no matter what happens, and the other 1/4 will vote Sinn Féin, and that can't be got over. Now, if I knew I had enough space, I'd be bringing up another subject which I want to jerk your minds on. I'm of the opinion we're living in what's known as an idiocracy, and that there is no cure in the next 20 years at least. An idiocracy, where the voters are idiots. They elect idiots like Eamon Ryan, Roderick O'Gorman, and all of these, and they elect European people like Kieran Malooly, an idiot when it comes to any kind of practical or subjects, and other MEPs, bankrupt others trying to fix this, trying to win elections with paying for their fees to get elected, and bankrupt them. And that one of the things we need to do, in my view, and I'm going to work on this more, we need to accept that Ireland is an idiocracy, and that we have to get this through to young people. And you don't work with the system, you don't work with government, you manage despite it. So you realise that you're not going to fix this idiocy. And a lot of older people are now finding that there's no provision for them. They have to go into nursing homes, and they have to pay up to 700-800 a week, sometimes €1,000 a week, and their whole money's gone. And they thought when they were voting Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael 30 years ago, they'd never see a poor day. We also see this transferred to California in America, where the wildfires are on there and no water in the reservoirs. I could go on about that. So same in England and same in Europe. So there may be some wee bit of hope in America and with Trump, and there may be some wee bit of hope in Europe. We'll see how that pans out. So this is what I think. We officially declare Ireland to be an idiocracy. And that means that we will be able to warn our children coming up, you're growing up in a country run by blithering idiots, and there is no way to improve it. Meanwhile, while I have no wee bit of power in there to run things, or give me the internet, I have no internet. There's a big jet plane flying overhead, flying overhead. They're running like blazes here, pumping out CO2 as if there's no tomorrow, just because government would never cut the air travel. So folks, I'll leave you go at that. I'm not sure if this will come out at all. Comment underneath, and we'll see you back soon. Thank you. Okay.